Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, welcome aboard. Today's new drug is a good weekend of National Football League games. You just heard Max tell you about it. We'll certainly talk all about those today on this Friday installment of the program. Frangie, Carline, and La Selva with you. Yes, I'm bummed I'm not getting on a plane tomorrow for Providence, Rhode Island. Staying in Providence, driving over to Foxborough in the morning.
I haven't even looked. What would the weather have been like?
I haven't looked either.
Yeah.
But,
let me see.
I think like low 30s.
Is that what it is?
Not that bad.
Oh, so here, this morning.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Yeah. It was 28 today at my house.
It was crazy.
28. Yeah, I'm not tough enough for 28.
I'm not either.
Am I kidding?
I don't like that at all.
But I think we would have gotten that 3 o'clock New England game.
That's what I would think,
played
too.
out. So, yeah, I'm a little bummed that we're not getting on a plane. But I will tell you that I'm excited about kind of the future.
It's 29 in Foxborough right now.
Ooh, that's cold. For
Sunday.
for 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's cold.
We obviously would have liked the Jaguars to be in the game.
However, the downside would have been.
Yes, the downside would have been Sunday's forecast, high of 37, 70% chance of rain.
Ooh.
So cold and rainy.
Yeah.
You're two of your favorites.
I love it. I love cold and rainy. My golf buddies make so much fun of me. Like, I got one buddy, my buddy Brian, that if it's a monsoon, hurricane, tornado, and tidal wave, he loves playing. Okay. That's his favorite golf. Me, if a cloud covers, I'm done. Okay, I put the hood up and I'm done. So we're kind of the opposite.
Now, do you guys have would you have the booth open or closed?
Booth's always open.
No matter what.
Kansas City, I think, is the only booth in the league that doesn't open.
Really?
I'm trying to think, because Tottenham doesn't, by the way, but that's not in the league. But I think Kansas City. I've not been to Lambeau because the year we played there, it was the COVID year, so we did it remotely. But of the 32, the only existing one I haven't been to is Lambeau, and Kansas City's enclosed, which I don't like. Yeah, even though I'd rather.
So you would, if the Jags were playing Sunday in Foxborough, you would be in the elements.
The window would, There's
you have some protection.
Yeah, but
but it's still.
And Foxborough's got a great booth, but it's a big old opening. So yeah, I'd have been cold. So it would have been a very cold day. So we've had a few of those. So there's that. So yeah, I think Kansas City, I think, is the only broadcast booth I may be missing one, but I don't think so. I think it's the only one that's enclosed, and it's always been enclosed. So now when you get up there and it's 12 degrees, it gets cold in Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
you're warm, you stay warm, but but you want to feel the game. So the game you want to feel.
I'm interested to see where they put like the press box. The booths will be obviously 50-yard line for the new Jaguar Stadium, but I'm curious to see where they end up putting the press box.
Yeah, I don't know this answer, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't get the sense that a lot of the geography is going to change that much. Now, typically, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Press boxes go in the corner, so you can sell the
premium.
Yeah,
which I get. You know,
but I don't.
We've had it pretty good there for a while.
I can tell you this: our broadcast booth is fantastic. I mean, it is right there. Yeah, but you're enclosed, right?
Yes,
you're enclosed
the
whole
press
time.
box is enclosed.
Yeah,
the only press box that I've ever been to
in the NFL
I've never seen one in the NFL where the press box is open. The only press box of any stature that I've ever seen that's open is the University of Florida.
Yeah, well, Georgia's open, Auburn's open. I can tell you that.
I've never covered games there.
Yeah, I can tell you. Georgia, Auburn, most of them, if they're not open, the window's open. So in college, the press boxes. All my years of college, as a newspaper guy, they were always pretty open.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the Southern college ones are open. So even in the press box area, and of course all the broadcast booths are. All right, a lot to talk about today in the program. I'm going to talk about the 4 games. I'm gonna rank the 8 quarterbacks. I want you to do the same thing.
Love it.
Rank the quarterbacks in order of how you would want them if you could have them. Right. Not
just
right
to win a game tomorrow or starting a franchise.
Win a game tomorrow.
Okay.
Win a game tomorrow. Yeah, because you're right. Start a franchise, you wouldn't have Matt Stafford high.
Right.
But this is win a game tomorrow.
Winning a game tomorrow sounds good.
Yeah. So the Jag fan rooting for the Bills?
It seems like that's a 50-50 conflict.
Is that what you get?
That's what I've gotten from Jaguar fans that I've talked to. I'm pulling for the Bills. I just, they're an underdog. They've never, won it. Yeah. And I do respect. I already thought Josh Allen was a terrific player, but I have a newfound respect for him, seeing him battle through 4 different ailments
and play so well.
That it's like, wow, he deserves a world title. Like, I obviously now that the Jaguars are out of it, So yeah, I'm pulling for the Bills. Plus, I think it would be, a good sign for the Jaguars if the Bills end up winning the world title and the Jaguars push them harder than any team.
I think that's where I am.
Yeah, but I understand people that are like, no, they beat the Jaguars, and I want them to lose to the Broncos.
Yeah. So and also I said all along, if you beat the Bills, the Jags are going to the Super Bowl. Well, if the Bills go to the Super Bowl, then that kind of enforces that a bit,
right?
Reinforces it a bit. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll say, in fact, start the program with a look at that matchup and the quarterbacks and the whole bit. Other things we'll talk about. Where were you on Kyle Tucker, JJ, going to the Dodgers? Did you care? Did it move the needle for you at all?
I think they overpaid. I mean,
they clearly overpaid.
Yeah. I just think he's on the back end. I know he's still youngish, but like he's had injuries lately. I wasn't shocked that he went to the Dodgers. I think it's funny that the Mets try on all these guys and just swing and miss. Although they did get Bichette today, who's a much less better player, and they paid like way out the you-know-what for him, too.
Yeah.
So I think they overpaid, but I could see why people were pissed, like, oh, they got another free agent guy, but...
Hey, I'm telling you where I stand on it. And you and I are on different ends of the spectrum. I think it's ridiculous there's not a cap, and I think they should have a lockout, and I think there should be equity. But that notwithstanding...
Well, we might have one.
It looks like there's a good chance, yeah. But let me say this. I don't blame the Dodgers.
Hell no.
If that's the system and you got more money and you're in a bigger market, too bad. I applaud people go, can you believe the Dodgers are ruining baseball? The Dodgers are playing by the rules. If the rules say you can spend 4 years, $240 million, which is a clear overpay of Kyle Tucker, God bless you.
Yeah, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. I mean, I can't be the guy who's like, oh, the rules and all this. We're about to steal a quarterback from Duke. I get it. They're playing within the rules. The only thing that really rubs me the wrong way about the Dodgers is the Ohtani deal, the deferred money, which seems so incredibly unfair.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's part of the rules.
It's in the rules.
I think that to me is way more important to change than the salary cap.
So it'll be
because if you do have a salary cap, Kyle Tucker ain't making $60 million a year.
No, that's right.
So I don't know. Like these players are going to fight their ass off.
I actually think you're 100% right. I think, and by the way, the problem isn't I've said it's not the Dodgers aren't the problem. The problem, cheap ass teams like mine who won't spend. There's no question. I think there will be a lockout after December 1st is when the collective bargaining, and I think it'll be a long lockout. I think this has happened so long that I think we could lose a season.
Last time it was only a couple months. I think they started maybe at the end of April or early May, and we still ended up getting most of the games, but this one could be bad.
I've never seen a free agent signing like with Tucker last night where all the baseball media's reaction to it was, well, here comes the lockout.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost
that's right.
It was almost like forget how this affects the Dodgers, the chase for another title. The immediate reaction was, well, this is just another sign of we're headed to a massive.
They do that every year.
But this one really
I
seemed
know,
to
but
be,
all the writers do this. They clutch their pearls about the Dodgers, whoever they sign.
But
I'm
Hayes,
over it.
But Hayes is right.
I mean, you never see that in the NFL.
But you're right. But I never thought about
there's a salary cap.
Yeah.
But you just said it there. The lockout salary cap talk was way higher in the story that where Tucker's going to bat in the order.
Right.
Way higher. Yeah.
What is he going to hit next year? I didn't see anybody being like, how does he help the lineup?
Yeah. That's a really good point. So we'll talk. But we got all kind of fun stuff to get. By the way, you told me something I didn't know, and now I know it because you informed me. Darian Mensah said he was staying at Duke. Now all of a sudden, in the last day, he may go in. Is it Miami? Is that what it is? That
I mean,
he's got to get in like
today
by midnight
immediately. Yeah.
So there's a lot of technicalities though. Like if he has a deal with Duke and they own his NIL. So is Miami going to buy that out too? It's like I don't know enough about the legalese parts.
All I saw is that Mensah now, after saying he was staying, now get in the portal. Right. I didn't realize till JJ just told me that it's because of Miami. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. But Miami offered
and Tennessee.
I was going to say
I've seen
Tennessee
like
too.
It seems like
Miami.
people are really freaking out in Knoxville over what Tennessee is going to do at quarterback.
Look, Ty Simpson spread the word. Miami's got $6.5 million to give a quarterback. I mean, he said it on the record, so we now know. I mean, he and nobody refuted it. You know, and again, by the way, let me say this too. I don't fault the Canes. That's the
That's
rule.
what I was
By the way,
saying about the
yeah,
Dodgers.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what can
I mean, the
say?
rule. I mean, the Canes are 60 minutes from a national championship,
and they get to keep all the money. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
split any of the
Thanks
playoff
to
revenue.
Florida State
Yeah.
and
That's
Clemson.
right. They keep all the
They
ACC.
keep all the money
Yeah,
that they've
yeah.
made. So
But-
I mean,
but
it's
even-
a penance.
It's been $30 million, and if they win another one, I don't even know what it is.
But even
they
beyond
pocket all that.
right, and beyond the money, which you good point because it pays for all this. The whole reason you play is to win the championship. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hope they get college education, they make it the NFL, and they learn to be men. I'm not dismissing that, but let's be honest. The reason we have talk shows, is to talk about who wins.
Right.
And
we don't break down grade point averages.
right, and so if Miami, by playing by the rules that are there, goes and gets Cam Ward 1 year and Carson Beck the next year and Darian Minton the next year and wins championships, God bless them for it. I shame on anybody that blames Miami. Just like blaming the Dodgers. That's the rules.
And there's no tampering.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess there may be a rule in a rule book that says not to do it.
Who knows?
But I
Yeah.
mean, but no one's ever been, accused, or no one's ever been, penalized
Yeah.
for it. So I mean, it's what they're doing. Yeah.
so-
I mean,
And it could be that because he just has to get into the portal tonight. He doesn't have to sign with anybody.
That's correct.
Tonight. So
That's
he
correct.
could just go into the portal, get more money from Duke, and go back to Duke
And
if he wanted to.
And there is a lot of talk.
Which
that
we saw that with the Florida State Twins like 2 days ago.
That's right. And there is talk that that he's leveraging Duke.
Right.
This is just a leverage play that Duke. So anyway, interesting stuff. All right, got a lot of things to talk about today on the program. Let's take a break. Let's kick it off with talking some NFL. Who are the best quarterbacks? Who's going to win these games? We'll do our picks later on. We got a good picks contest, by the way.
you
Very
guys
close.
are in a
I retook my lead.
You won by 1 point.
Yes. A lead is a lead. A win's a win, Frank.
JJ's 1 point ahead of me, 5 points ahead of Hayes. We're all kind of in there together. So we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about on the program. Let's start with talking some NFL. This is one of the best weekends of the year, every year, the divisional round of the NFL. Wish we were in it. We're not, but let's talk about how it's going to play out. That's next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's our Big Mac.
Woo! It's Smash Mouth football, baby!
Tom McManus brings his big opinions to Jaguars Today.
Every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010 XL.
Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Folks, this month marks a big milestone for Nimnick. 85 years of serving Jacksonville. Since 1941, Nimnick has been more than a dealership. It's been part of this community. 4 generations of families, thousands of vehicles sold, and a reputation built on doing things the right way. So when you hear nobody but Nimnick, that's 85 years of trust behind it. If you bought a car from Nimnick, serviced one, or participated in one of the causes, you are part of that legacy. So stop by and celebrate 85 years with the Nimnick family, because this milestone belongs to Jacksonville too. There's 2 great locations. There's Nimnick Chevrolet on Cassett and Park, and there's Nimnick Buick GMC located on Phillips Highway. They're proud of 85 years, and they should be. Nobody does it better than Nimnick. So head to Nimnick today, and if you want a great deal, the best deal, who gives it to you? Nobody but Nimnick.
All right, folks, our private equity fund just bought another one in Jacksonville.
Love it. Let's make sure the website says locally trusted.
Should we change the number to a Florida area code?
Nah, just pretend we're local.
Meanwhile, Holland Sons Plumbing didn't need a rebrand to stay local. We're family-owned, veteran-operated, and proud to call Jacksonville home. So if you want a plumber who actually lives in your neighborhood, not in a boardroom, call Holland Sons Plumbing. Holland Sons Plumbing. Locally owned, nationally unbothered.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell and Harrell. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell and Harrell. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell and Harrell at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA, who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
Ghost. Skeletor World Tour 2026. Ghost. Theatrical. Arena Rock. January 22nd, Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Ghost. Don't miss Ghost.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
And they really are good. For 60 years, they've been doing it. There's 6 locations now. There's the north side, 2 on the west side, the south side over here on Phillips Highway, and now there's a Orange Park location and a Mandarin location. So if you can hear me now, you're close to a Big Chief Tire, and the Big Chief Tire Company, they do a wonderful job. The Parman family has done that forever. It's still in the family. It's a family business, and it's good people in the family. I promise you that. Big Chief Tire Company for all your tire needs. And again, that means brakes and alignments and oil change, and of course, those great tires. I'm going to start right out of the gate by giving you my list. This is my list right now of quarterbacks to play.
Okay.
Josh Allen 1. This is of the 8 guys still playing.
And I've written mine down too. So
okay, my list is Josh Allen 1, Matt Stafford 2, Drake May 3 for me.
Okay.
Caleb Williams 4.
Wow.
Brock Purdy 5, Bo Nix 6. C.J. Stroud 7, Sam Darnold 8.
We're very close.
That's my list if to play right now.
Yeah.
What's yours?
We're very close. I went Josh Allen, easy decision, best available. I then went Stafford second because, again, it's just about winning tomorrow's game or this weekend's game. I went Brock Purdy 3. I think Brock Purdy's a great player.
I was torn in that group.
Yeah, and he has shown he's gotten the 49ers to a Super Bowl. When he is healthy, he plays at a high level. He just was hurt a lot this year. So I had Purdy at 3. I had May at 4, Caleb Williams at 5, Bo Nix 6, Sam Darnold 7, and I had C.J. Stroud.
We had
8.
almost the same list.
Almost the exact same list. And again, C.J. Stroud is, to me, he's the weakness on the Houston Texans.
And I was torn between Stroud and Darnold 7, 8, 8, 7. I was torn on that one.
Could you imagine saying that about Stroud after his rookie?
I know.
Year? Everyone was like, "Whoa, what a superstar!"
Yeah,
and I bragged, by the way. I bragged so much about seeing that. You've probably heard me tell the story. I don't know if you were producing the show then or not, JJ, but that year, his senior year, there was last year. It was
at Ohio State.
His last year, I had an off week, so I did the Ohio State-Maryland game. And he quarterbacked Ohio State, and Talia Tungavailoa was the Maryland quarterback, who's good. And Maryland, and it was a great game. It was like 35-28 or 35-31. And I came back here and told Hayes, I said, listen, this guy's better than Bryce Young. He's really good. He reminds me a little bit of Burrow. He's got some Joe Burrow in him, and watching him play. and I said he's going to be a really good pro. And Pete kind of disagreed with me, and I said, Pete, if I hadn't have called his game, I wouldn't have felt that way. And then he turned out to be great. But yeah, he's tumbled, hadn't he? He's not.
Just fell off the map.
Yeah. And so
he looked terrible against Pittsburgh, and he has all year.
Yeah. So our lists are very close. And so having said that, which game does the first game intrigue you the most? Because the Bills, we just played the Broncos. That one for me. And again, I'm not a fantasy player, so I didn't have any of those impact.
Yeah.
But is fantasy still going on?
That's over,
It's
right?
okay.
I mean, you'd have to be like, beyond a diehard to still be playing fantasy football at this point.
So you people watching it just for the game.
Yeah.
That game for me, by a wide margin, is first. And obviously the two AFC games are my most interest because we're an AFC team and we play all of them. But the Bills Broncos, by far for me, is the most intriguing game.
I would agree. Just because again, I'm eager to see what Josh Allen can do for an encore, and again, how healthy is he? And I kind of think Denver is a fraud, but they are the 1 seed, so maybe they surprise. So yeah, I would agree. Of the 4, that's probably the one I'm most looking forward to watching. Texans Patriots, I'm kind of afraid is going to be a little bit of a slugfest, and maybe a good defensive game, but not a lot of points. 49ers Seahawks, I think the 49ers can hang in, but I get people saying that the Seahawks are going to win that game comfortably. And I mean, Rams Bears will be fantastic. I think Caleb Williams has really done some amazing things. So it's a great weekend of NFL action, but yeah, I'd probably say Buffalo at Denver is the best of the 4.
The team I'm rooting hardest for of the 8 is the Patriots, because I don't want that. No. I mean, my fear is I told you how long I thought the Texans would beat the Patriots, or I thought the Texans would beat the Broncos, because I thought we'd be playing the Patriots, or the Jags would be playing the Patriots. My fear is the Texans win that game, and they and the Bills win, and the Texans get to host the AFC Championship game. The Texans, who have never been to a Super Bowl, like the Jags. There's 4 teams that have never been.
I think that's right.
14 that have never won.
The Lions, the
Browns. Yeah. There's 4 that have never been, and there's 14 that have never won one.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there's 10 that have been and never won. So I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't. My buddy Mark Vandermeer is one of my dear friends in the world, the play-by-play voice of the Texans, and I want all good for Mark. I don't want that.
That's a hard game all the way around, because I don't like New England.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's hard for me to pull for the Patriots.
Even this New England?
Yeah.
This New England doesn't bother me.
I mean, because
I didn't like the other New England.
But they didn't have to go through any real pain. Like, they had a couple of years where they weren't great.
Right.
But, I mean, come on. Like, this isn't like Green Bay going from Favre to Rodgers. I mean, at least there was a couple of bad years in there. But it seems like the Patriots haven't suffered enough post-Tom Brady to now just be right back in the AFC title game.
Yeah, that's a great
But I will pull for them. But it will be like, and then whoever wins the Texans-Patriots game, I will be rooting really hard against in the AFC title game, because I'd pull for Denver over Houston or New England.
You pulled same. You mentioned Brock Purdy. I'm rooting for Brock Purdy. Number 1, drafted really low.
Mr. Irrelevant.
It was the last pick in the draft.
The lowest.
Yeah. Our buddy Denny Thompson, who's a great friend of our station and our show, works with him. He's a really good spiritual guy. He looks like a good guy to root for. Doesn't he? I mean,
it's an incredible story.
Yeah, he really is. So I'm kind of rooting. I'm rooting for. I would love to see the Bills and the 49ers. That'd be a fun one.
It would be, particularly when you look at what we were talking about of where these 8 quarterbacks were taken in the draft. And obviously there's multiple number 1 overall picks. They're all in the top 10, basically, except for Brock, and they're all in the first round, except for Brock Purdy, who went the last pick in a draft, which is just unbelievable. But yeah, I think Bills 49ers would be probably that's probably the matchup that I'm pulling to see.
Yeah,
happen.
same. Me too.
Because I respect Kyle Shanahan. Like, they've had so many injuries, and they've been close. Their Jimmy Garoppolo overthrow from winning a Super Bowl. So Shanahan's been close. I respect what he's been able to do with his team this year. And I do like Brock Purdy. So if it's Josh Allen versus Brock Purdy for the world title, I think that would be a fantastic Super Bowl.
Statements they could make by winning tomorrow. The Bills, once again, one game from the Super Bowl. The Bills been to a lot of Super Bowls, haven't won one. But the Bills one game away from being in the Super Bowl. And I think that's Josh Allen then has the mantle, right? He's the guy, and one more step toward that. So the Bills can exercise a lot of demons by getting there and certainly by winning. The Broncos, they're before their time. I mean, nobody saw this. Nobody saw Bo Nix, who failed miserably at Auburn, showed up at Oregon, became a pretty good player. The next thing you know, he's drafted high. Sean Payton, who looked like his time was over in New Orleans, they got there before their time. The 49ers are the 49ers. You talked about all the injuries they've had, but they have the best, they've a long-time heritage of anybody in this thing. They've got a bunch of rings back in the day. The Seahawks, I don't think, have an identity. He's a good defensive-minded coach. He brought in a recycled quarterback. I don't know if they win it. They're not the Russ Wilson Seahawks who won it once and should have won it twice. So I'm not sure there's much of an identity change for them. They're almost not obscure, but sort of
they are obscure.
Sort of obscure of all the teams in this thing.
I think that's the perfect way to describe them. They're just, particularly for being the 1 seed. Like, you would think that, they obviously have Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's the best receiver in the NFL this season.
He's really good. We saw him up close, man. He's a good player.
Yeah, and what they've built in Seattle along both sides of the lines of scrimmage is really impressive. But yeah, it just feels like they float along, and there's not a lot of sizzle there, and no one really talks about them. And I'm guilty of that too. Like, it just feels like from a sizzle standpoint, Seattle would not bring much to the table.
Yeah, as for the Sunday games, the Patriots, obviously, here we go. They win it. Here we go again. The Texans, their identity is clear. They're the old Steelers. They're the old Ravens. They're the physical, beat you up, beat you to death, maul you, and have enough offense to win the game. It's who they are. By the way, they're hurt great. You made this point earlier, and I didn't dismiss it, but I didn't expound on it. They need Nico Collins. The fact that he's not in this game, that he won't be playing in this game.
If they ruled him out.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
And that's a big loss.
That is a big loss.
So, but they're the nasty. They're today's Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens physical team.
Why the weather might be good for them.
Yeah,
if it is rainy and nasty.
That's right. The Bears are upstart. They got a high flying quarterback that everyone's talking about, and a first year coach that everybody
like
wanted.
2 years ahead of schedule.
They're way ahead of schedule, and the Rams are just expected.
And this might be the final shot.
Might be it. Yeah.
I mean, they've won one, but this might be the final shot at a second world title.
But he's considered by some as the best coach in the league. Stafford is considered some by the best quarterback, one of the best 2 or 3 quarterbacks. So they would be expected. The Bears ahead of their time. The Texans, their identity is that nasty defense. The Patriots, here we go again. I mean, how did the Patriots wind up with Mike Vrabel after having Bill Belichick all those years? I'm not sure Vrabel's not the best coach in the league. I mean, he might be the best coach in the league, and they wound
He's
up.
He's probably going to win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, they wound up with him. The Seahawks are obscure. Nobody knows what they are. They weren't obscure when Pete Carroll was there. They weren't obscure when Russ Wilson was there. They certainly weren't obscure 100 years ago when Jim Zorn and Steve Largent and Dave Craig were there. They're obscure. They're sort of obscure. The 49ers have a great heritage, and Shanahan's, everybody knows him. Brock Purdy, everyone knows the story. And the Bills, it's their time. I think that's the identity for all those
If you
18.
put Goodell on a polygraph, what matchup do you think the league would want most for the Super Bowl?
Probably Bills 49ers, the one you and I want.
Yeah.
Because you want Josh Allen in the game, and the 49ers have that great heritage.
Yeah.
And between them.
But it's been a while since they've won, too.
Correct. And
you're going to have a team that hasn't won or hasn't won in a long time.
And they've been in 10 Super Bowls between them. So people have seen that.
And it's the classic East Coast, West Coast, which they love.
Yeah. As much as the Seahawks-Texans would be a nice physical battle, and it's not a ratings thing. The Super Bowl is always going to crush ratings.
God, I hope it's not Texans versus Seattle.
But
Super Bowl.
First one to 9 points.
Oh my
but if it's Texans-Seattle,
Texans Seattle, I think would be the worst matchup.
Yeah,
I agree with you guys.
That would be because there's some charisma to the other AFC teams.
Yeah,
and there's in the other NFC teams. That's the one.
Although I think Seattle's great.
They both have good teams. Look, there's 8 teams left. They're all good.
Darnold.
I mean, they're all good. So we'll see. All right, I'm gonna take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about Carson Beck. We'll talk more about it Friday. Monday was we preview the game. Carson Beck's had a really interesting career, hasn't he? Doesn't get his due. I wonder why he doesn't get his due.
Brilliant last drive.
Yeah. I mean, fantastic. And look, he's what's the record?
13-2.
And he started every game, right?
Yeah.
So he's 37-4.
Something like that.
37-5 is 37-5.
And I know people didn't watch a ton of Miami football like the last month of the regular season, but he was phenomenal.
He was really good, and so I mean,
and that game-winning drive he had in the semifinal.
Oh yeah,
I mean he
didn't have to do much in the A&M game. That was a big drive as well. The Ole Miss.
But the Ole Miss, I mean, he did everything you could want out of a quarterback on that drive.
As a college, this is a Jacksonville kid. This kid went to Mandarin. He started at Providence. I can't tell you how many people I know that their kids played Little League with him. I could give you a list of my buddies. I know Chris Beck, his dad. I mean, he's a Jacksonville. I mean, this is a Jacksonville kid. He's 37-5. 37-5 as a starting quarterback in big-time college football.
And people wonder if he's any good.
And people wonder. Yeah. We'll take a break. We'll talk about Carson Beck and his hope for a national title after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Florida doesn't ease into the heat. It comes fast and it comes hard. And if your AC barely survived last summer, you're already on borrowed time. That's why Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning wants you to start the year off strong with a new AC system. Make the smart move before summer hits. Right now, get their lowest price of the year, $1,000 off a new AC system when you install by February 28th. Call now to schedule your free estimate and get ahead of the season. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. The monthly card show is back this Saturday, running from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. inside Showtime, with nearly 20 tables of local vendors, football, baseball, and Pokemon cards. In-store card show tomorrow from 9 to 4 at Showtime. Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Pre-Game Friday, built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
Hey, poker players and sports fans. It's cold outside, but the action is hot inside. Turn game day into payday at Aces Sports Bar inside Best Bet St. Augustine. Catch all the playoff football and college basketball on our big screens and play your hand at the tables. Plus, score $100 for touchdowns during selected pro football games and $500 every 30 minutes at the table games. Get all the exciting details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Searcy here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic palm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
It may be winter in Northeast Florida, but it's one of the most important times to protect your lawn. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. Their winterizer strengthens roots and improves cold tolerance. Pre-emergent treatments stop spring weeds before they ever start. What that means is you set the stage for a thicker, greener lawn when spring arrives. Call today to schedule your winter lawn treatment with Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Eugenics Total T2.
The testosterone booster?
Yeah, but it's way more than that now. It also skyrockets your nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with T2, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text TAP to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenix Total T2. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's TAP to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee in Folkestone. Man, was I impressed. You have to see these handcrafted cabins. But act fast. On this 1,000-acre farm, there will only be 250 cabins. Each phase has jumped in value, so come get your lot and lock in your equity. Enjoy living in harmony with nature, going to the grocery store in your own backyard, and connecting with people grounded in food and purpose. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
6 locations in town, Orange Park and Mandarin, the 2 latest ones they've opened in the last few years. Before that, and still up and running. 2 on the west side, 1 on the south side, 1 on the north side. 6 locations, best company in town, man. I love my friends from Big Chief Tire. Tires, automotive service, that means oil changes, brakes, alignments, and boy, and they'll give you a great price, and you'll deal with really good people too. They insist on really good folks treating you right. Big Chief Tire, and always a Big Chief Tire Friday here on the program. Carson Beck was 24-3 as the Georgia quarterback in 2 years. He's 13-2 as the Miami quarterback. He's got an NFL body. He's got a big NFL arm. Once upon a time, a year or so ago, early in the year, was projected as the number 1 pick. As his career went along, it looked like, okay, he's probably not going to be the number 1 pick. Stayed in college, transferred to Miami, got all kind of money to go there, got the Lamborghini and whatever else. He's a Jacksonville guy. Tim Tebow won a national championship. He's a Jacksonville guy. He did it at Florida. Mac Jones won a national championship. He's a Jacksonville guy. He did it at Alabama. Hayes, has anybody else ever done it? Has there ever been? Albert Chester, by the way, was for a Reebok quarterback who went on and won a championship at FAMU back when it was a 1AA championship before it was called FCS. But is anybody else from Jacksonville? I don't think it's ever happened.
I don't think it's ever happened.
I mean, and I go way back here now. I mean, I'm trying to remember. Don Gaffney was a wonderful quarterback at Florida. Randy Wallace in the 70s, the very early 70s, went and played at Tennessee. He was after Conrad Holloway, a very good player. But I'm trying to think if anyone's ever gone and won a title. Frankly, there haven't been a lot of prominent quarterbacks from Jacksonville.
Right.
I remember Vince Robinson from Reigns in the 80s through to Ronald Lewis. He went to Clemson. They thought he'd be great, but it never happened. Patrick Sapp was a Reigns quarterback that they moved to defense. Remember that? Mm-hmm. But I don't think anyone's ever done it other than Tebow and Mac Jones, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. And obviously Carson has a phenomenal opportunity, and I think he's a guy also, forgetting even how Monday goes. Obviously, if it goes well and he wins the national title, you're going to see it affect his draft stock. But even if he loses, I'm surprised Carson Beck has fallen so far in the eyes of the NFL scouting world, if in fact he has, but it seems like he doesn't get talked about like he did. You're looking at a player that for his career completes 69.7% of his passes. He's thrown 87 touchdowns to 31 picks. He's also run for 7 touchdowns. I mean, that's a pretty good career. I mean, I don't know what else, to your point, his traits are good. So I'm surprised that in what appears to be a miserable quarterback class, that he's not considered more of a first round guy, because he's obviously accurate. That completion percentage for a career, that's unbelievable.
As a junior in high school at Mandarin High, he threw for 3,546 yards and 30 touchdowns. He was the 2018 Florida Mr. Football and led them to a state championship that year. That was as a junior in high school. I mean, that's how good he was. He came back as a senior and had another big year. Did you? And I know you know this. I don't know. Hey, JJ, I don't know if you know. Hayes knows. JJ, I don't know if you know or not. Did you know? As a sophomore in high school at Providence, he was a Florida baseball commit.
I didn't know, just because you told me that.
Yeah, he was a Florida baseball commit. He was going to go play baseball for Sully. And he was going to be really third baseman, big, strong third baseman.
He kind of has that wind-up throw.
Yeah. So he's going to be a really good third baseman, power-hitting third baseman playing for Florida. I mean, Sully offered him as a sophomore. Well, then he got really good at football, so Nick Saban offered him. He committed to Alabama and was going to go be Nick Saban's quarterback and I remember his senior year that he now had decommitted from Alabama, and there was whispers it might be Florida. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. I think he decommitted from Alabama on 1010XO. I was producing the shows on the sports stand.
Was he really? How about that? So, and of course,
everybody thought it was the Gators.
Everybody thought it was the Gators, and he wound up at Georgia. But I mean, he's a really good player. He's athletic enough. He's got a big arm. He's a really, really good player. And you're right. He, for whatever reason, doesn't quite get his due. He's almost one of those guys that had so much hype that when it didn't happen the way you thought, when he couldn't beat out Stetson Bennett, who turned out to be a very good player, when it didn't happen the way you thought it would happen, he lost a little bit of the shine came off, the luster came off a little bit, which is a shame because he's on the verge of completing a pretty amazing college career.
Without a doubt. And I don't know if maybe from an image standpoint he got hurt because he was sort of the poster child of the new NIL and, buying the Lamborghini and things like that.
He had a famous girlfriend who was always online.
Right. So I don't know if maybe that rubbed some people the wrong way in terms of like how he was viewed as a potential, professional.
And it's like you hadn't won anything. Like Stetson won it, but now you're the guy with all the money and all this. They expected to win immediately after. Like you're supposed to be the better quarterback than Stetson. So how could you have not won the title?
Correct. And a lot of people said, well, he's a little bit quirky and flaky. Okay, he was a 21-year-old college student. I'm glad you didn't know me as a 21-year-old college student.
I was way worse.
Yeah, he's a 21-year-old college student. Of course you're quirky. That's what they are. I mean, it's what we were. It's what I was, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that'd be a kind description for me. But yeah, I mean, so I think it will be interesting. Carson Beck is the kind of player, I think, win or lose Monday night, he will be a player that as the draft process plays out, I think more people will wake up to this. I mean, this guy completed 70% of his passes in college. He's a 3-year starter. He's thrown for, after Monday's game, over 11,500 yards. Again, even if he doesn't account for a touchdown Monday night, he'll have 94 with 87 through the air. Like, I'm surprised with that level. These teams look for, guys that weren't just one-year wonders. Well, he isn't that. He's got 3 good years of college football at premier programs. He's won at a very high level. I mean, if I was an NFL GM looking for a quarterback, you pop in that last drive of the Ole Miss game. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, talk about that's the exact situation that you're going to be in almost every NFL Sunday.
3rd and 8, you need a first down.
And he went right down the field and hit a vast array of different throws, which I thought was really impressive, and then used his legs to score the touchdown. Again, Mendoza's certainly looks impressive, but you get beyond Mendoza. I mean, I think a strong argument could be made for Carson Beck.
And by the way, he's 37-5 as a college quarterback. He's thrown for, to your point, over 11,000 yards. You had a number. You just ran through a number that I didn't realize. In college football, despite having 1,358 attempts, he's a 70% passer with college receivers.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean Georgia Miami hasn't had great receivers, but they still have some not great receivers because they're college receivers.
And Georgia will even tell you they didn't exactly have the greatest skill position players the last year when he was there.
He's a 70% passer.
Remember all the drops that Georgia had his last year there?
Yeah. Like, they lost Bowers, McConkey, and they weren't the same.
Yeah. So
Jacoby George was their best player.
Anyway, one more game for Carson Beck.
He's one that's going to be one where like he'll be good in the NFL,
Yeah.
and people will go back and look and be like, how did people miss on
That's
Carson
right.
Beck?
100%. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL is your home for Jacksonville University basketball.
After a 32-point explosion, JU rides the wave to North Alabama. Dolphins-Lions, tomorrow at 3 on 1010 AM.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
And that concludes the Josie Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clear water irrigation
and drainage too.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Any good lineup needs power. When we needed power at the Bregan Baseball Complex and all the fields we have at Fort Family Park, we trusted Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. Call my friend Zach today at 904-320-5960. You can also find them on Facebook and at rickettselectric.com. Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 904-320-5960.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
down. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here, as is JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thanks to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Happy birthday to Harrell. Call them at 251-1111. Frank, let's start with the Jaguars. What's the next step for Trevor Lawrence, in your opinion?
Well, number one, it's an easy answer, but keep on keeping on. I think the big step was this year to go from quarterback that made a lot of big plays, and all of a sudden one that made too many bad plays. I think it's keep doing what he was doing. And here's the thing. He was injured the last offseason. So not only did he have a new coach and a new system and a new plan and a new way of thinking, but he could go out and practice it. I can't wait to see what he is. So the next step is more of the same, but I think more of the same will elevate him. Maybe this is where you're going with the question. I don't know if it is. Where does he land? Is one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the National Football League. That's where I think he lands. I'm not ready to go top 5 yet, but I'll bet you by the time this time next year, when we're getting ready for the Jags to go to the Super Bowl in LA, I think we are talking about a top 10 at worst quarterback in the National Football League.
Let's get to around the NFL. By the way, the NFL draft will be historically awful this year. Only 42 juniors declared early.
Yeah.
That number used to be routinely in the hundreds.
And you know why?
Oh, yeah. They're getting paid to stay.
They're getting paid to stay.
They're going to Indiana.
Why would you, if you're not a first-round pick, and last time I checked, there's only 32 of those, why would you come out? And then if there's any seniors going high in the first round, which there usually aren't, that even makes the number even smaller. Yeah, why would you stay? Why would you come out? They're all getting millions to stay.
It's going to be slim pickings come April, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get to college football. Frank, you were talking a lot about this. The Gators get a massive defensive tackle commitment from Baylor, who's like his name's impossible to pronounce. I mean, I'm not even going to try, but he's like 377 pounds.
His first name is Samu. I can't pronounce the last name. Yeah,
Thank God it's not Shamu.
They've now got 25 portal
Or Des
guys.
Watson.
Yeah, they've got 25 portal guys. Of those, I think 8 are starters, so they got a lot of young players, backups. What they didn't have is that big two-gap guy. When they lost Mekhi Barrow, who wound up at Ole Miss, who's a 6'5", 250 or 350-pound guy, they've got more 3 techniques than they do that 0 technique or that two-gap 1 technique. So they needed a big physical guy, and that's what they got in him. He didn't play very much. A lot of the guys Florida's getting didn't play much. They're young guys who haven't played much, and they're getting them. They see potential rather than production.
This is the last day in terms of the portal. So for any player that wants to get in the portal, today is the day. After today, the portal will be closed.
Yeah, and the big story today, Darian Mensah, the Duke quarterback who told everybody he's not transferring. He's either coming out, he's going to the NFL, or he's staying. Then he said, I've decided I'm staying at Duke. Out of nowhere, today, when everybody thought he was staying, at least publicly, he went to the portal. And a lot of people believe that's because that $6.5 million that Ty Simpson wouldn't take from Miami, Darian Mensah will. So what a blow to Duke, very late in the process, when Duke could have been pursuing another quarterback and they weren't.
Yeah, absolutely. There was an exciting anniversary in college football that occurred this week, and want to mention it before we get out of here for the weekend. The 50th anniversary of Florida State hiring Bobby Bowden was this week. Bowden's legend just grows with each year.
Yeah, he was probably one of the most genuinely good people I ever covered. I got to know him well. I could tell you stories about things he said to me that would made me laugh, and I won't go on and on, but I saw that too. This 50 years ago this week, Bobby Bowden was hired to be the Florida State coach, and Florida State football was changed and good forever. Now there's some swells, and they're having one now, but he took Florida State football, a team with potential and possibilities, and made them the bluest of blue bloods. And I'm not sure anybody else could have done it the way the great Bobby Bowden did it.
Yeah, well said. Let's get into college basketball. Gators at Vandy tomorrow at 2. The Commodores are a 3.5-point favorite. Who do you like in the game?
I think Florida's going to beat Vanderbilt. It's a gigantic game, though, on so many fronts. Florida's red hot. Vanderbilt had not lost until losing at Texas this past week. I think it's going to be a fan. It's a really big game. It's a big game for both teams. Both teams have a little house money here. because you can lose it and the world doesn't end. People will respect the team you lost to. That they say that about both teams. But there's a great chance for Florida to recapture some magic that they didn't recapture when they couldn't quite finish against UConn and Duke and Arizona. But now they're hot. They've blown out 3 teams in the SEC after losing their opener to Missouri. Great opportunity for the Gators.
Without a doubt, UNF won its first ASUN game last night with a 105-91 victory at North Alabama. Kent Jackson scored 35 points, drilling 8 of 13 threes. The Ospreys also made 18 of 19 from the free throw line.
KJ is a former Episcopal player, former JU player. He was at JU for a couple years, couldn't really get in the mix with Jordan Mincy's team, transferred across town to UNF. Again, UNF's having a tough year. They both are, really. UNF's having a tough year, but they were counting on Kent Jackson. Listen, he went to the media days with them, and what a huge game for the former Episcopal star. Great to see. 8 3-pointers in the game. He can really shoot it now. I mean, you're like, duh, he just made 8 3-pointers, but I'm not surprised. When he gets it off, he's that good of a shooter.
Yeah, great stuff. Let's get it to golf. Rory McIlroy says Liv won't sign anyone that moves the needle anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's where they are. I think we're all kind of on the same page here. We're going to see Liv die a slow death. It's admirable that the people like DeChambeau and others that have contracts are going to play out their contract there. So we've got a few more years to live. But the next wave of players, I don't think there's any chance. I don't think there's any chance. They made a run, and they got the aging guys like Mickelson and Bubba Watson. They got the real star guys who are maybe starting to fade a little bit in Koepka and DeChambeau and Rahm and others, not fade a little bit. And they gave them so much money, life-changing money. When it's life-changing money for guys that already make that much, it's a lot of money. But I don't think the next wave of great players will not be enticed like the former wave of DeChambeau and Koepka and others. I really believe that.
Let's get to Major League Baseball. World Series champion Dodgers get Kyle Tucker, the most coveted bat in free agency. 4 years, $240 million.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I said this before. I hate that baseball doesn't have equity of spending. Every other sport in North America has it. I think baseball should be the same as the rest of them. But while they don't, I don't blame the Dodgers. You know what, JJ? We said earlier in the program, you've got a bunch of money. You're in a big market. You can afford it. The rules allow it. Why wouldn't you? They won the last 2 titles. They've won 3 of the last 5. They've been there 5 of the last 9. They're a great franchise. Why wouldn't you keep making it great?
And they'll probably win the division again. I'd be shocked if they didn't, even though, San Diego's a strong team and everything. But over 162 games, I feel like they'll... Now, once you get to the playoffs, we saw in the World Series, it's a crapshoot. You could lose to the Blue Jays or something like that. But they're going to be good again.
Absolutely. Let's get into media. Hat tip to Dylan Denmark,
Yes.
who leaves
My God,
1010XL today. Dylan was fantastic working with him on the kickoff show for a number of years now. I would send him all this email on Friday with all this sound that he had to get in interviews, and he was always fantastic, always had everything that I asked him for, and just a unbelievably great dude. So best wishes to Dylan Denmark. He will be missed here at 1010XL.
If you don't like Dylan Denmark, that means you never met him. He's a really good dude. We'll miss Dylan. Always a positive spirit around here. Always had a big grin on his face. We'll miss Dylan for sure. I'm glad you brought it up.
And good on the Gator podcast as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Very, very
very good point. Let's get it to pop culture, because this week, back in 1974, this happened.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are on.
Happy Days debuts this
Wow.
week back in 1974.
Right.
11 seasons and 255 episodes.
It was one of the great sitcoms ever because it was so identifiable by its time, by the actors, by the Fonz, who's one of the best characters in a sitcom ever. Sadly, and I've reported this to you before, I should have watched more of it. It deserved my attention, but the TV networks felt obligated to put it opposite one day at a time. And because I was relatively convinced I was going to spend most of my adult life with Valerie Bertinelli, I watched that instead.
Yeah. We didn't have DVR back then.
You know, we did. You had to pick one.
You had to watch it when they played it.
You had to pick one, so I did not see all the episodes of Happy Days I should have seen, and I want to apologize to America for that right now.
That sounds good.
I need to put this on the DVD. I need to see Joni and Chachi. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Again, I would have loved to have watched it, but I had other things to do.
That's right. We'll get you out on our musical note of the day. This is a really cool story. I always love stories like this that sort of connect generations in terms of music. David Bowie's Heroes has seen an explosion in streaming over the last 2 weeks as the song is featured prominently in the series finale of Stranger Things. Heroes was released in the fall of 1977. Very cool that it has gotten a resurgence in 2026.
Who doesn't love Bowie?
Yeah.
I saw a thing online with him doing Space Oddity when he was like 21. I don't know if you saw it or not, but this is a great song. Great work as always.
Thanks.
We appreciate that. When we come back, we got a lot more to talk about on the program. Pete Prisco just around the corner, but at 5 o'clock, our picks. Oh, what a picks contest we got coming. Our picks are next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Fred Taylor is now in 1010XL's backfield.
Fred Taylor with 2 touchdowns.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins on 1010XL.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
'Tis the season for bowl picking.
You got the chance to win $1,000 in jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Brought to you by Burlock and Barrel, American whiskey.
You watch them, but can you pick them?
Get your picks in at 1010XL.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. We're your local family jeweler for 46 years in Jacksonville with a huge selection of diamonds, gemstones, and pre-owned Rolex watches. And Monahan Jewelers is your store for expert jewelry repair turned around in 1 or 2 days. Most jewelry stores take 2 weeks or more, and many stores send your jewelry somewhere else for repair. At Monahan Jewelers, our jewelry repair is done in-house by expert craftsmen, and Monahans can turn around most repairs in a day or two. So bring your jewelry repair to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts the Jaguars call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mokama Beer Company. with a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and lagers. Matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Happy New Year from Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It is 2026. Is this what you've been waiting for? Is the time now for you to drop the weight with Awaken 180 Weight Loss? Look, the time was right for me. I had to do something. I remember looking at myself in the mirror, just couldn't believe it, man. I was going down a bad path. Found out about the great folks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss, started talking with a coach, and instantly I knew that is exactly what I needed. Awaken 180 changed my life. I lost over 100 pounds. Guys, take it from somebody that lost triple digits on this program. It worked for me. It will work for you. No shots, no pills. You do it the natural way with the terrific coaching of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Call 844-346-1800 or go to Awaken180weightloss.com and do what I did with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Gators Hoops continue their road trip this weekend as they get set to face a very talented Vanderbilt squad for a top 25 matchup. It'll be an afternoon tip-off on Saturday at 2 p.m., airing on 1010 a.m. as the 19th-ranked Gators look to keep a red-hot offense sizzling and defeat the 10th-ranked Commodores. It's 52 degrees at 5 o'clock time, and temp brought to you by Bueller Aram Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Time for the Frangie Show Picks of the Week, brought to you by Ricketts Electric, Jacksonville's power connection. The Ricketts Picks start now.
And we certainly thank our friends from Ricketts Electric. 904-320-5960 for the best electricians in town. That's all you need to know. That's the number. 904-320-5960. The best in the business, the best is Ricketts Electric. I use them at the Reagan Baseball Complex and all of our stuff with walk-off. I use them at our home. I trust them. You want an electrician you can trust? Don't mess with that stuff yourself. Get the best in the business. Oh, boy, does
Fantastic people.
They really are. They really are great.
Exactly.
1 week ago, J.J. LaSelva was 5-3. He had a game picker-upper for 6 points. I was 5-3. 5 points, no game picker-upper. Hayes Carline, he hails from the Bowl School. He was 3-5, 4 total points. So here's where we stand. JJ's 83-61, 105. I'm 82-62, 104. That's how close this battle is.
Unbelievable.
You think this thing was going to be decided before the fourth quarter? You're nuts. Hayes Carline, 64-79. But still 100 points because he's got 25 game picker-uppers. That by the way, he has the same amount of game picker-uppers as JJ and I combined.
Wow.
Exactly. 25, 13, and 12. Money balls, JJ 12 and 5. That's the Jags games.
If somebody would have taken the Bills last week, that would have 3 points.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So JJ's 12 and 5, money balls. I was 11 and 6, finished 11 and 6. Hayes 10 and 7. So there you go. 105, 104, 100. We're closing in on the end of the season. Here we go.
8 games left.
JJ, you're in the lead. Bills at Broncos. Who do you like?
I like the Buffalo Bills. Hayes said it earlier. I think Denver's are pretenders. I just don't like Bo Nix in the playoffs. Last year, these two teams played, and the Bills rocked them. I'm going with Buffalo.
Hayes Carline.
I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos here, and that defense in Mile High. Josh Allen maybe not 100%. I'll say Denver gets it done.
I'm going with the Bills. I'm coming with JJ on this one. 49ers at Seahawks. Hayes Carline.
I'm going to go with the 49ers here. Brock Purdy, savvy player, and I'll say Kyle Shanahan devises a way to score enough, and Saleh gets enough stops, and I don't trust Sam Darnold. Give me San Francisco.
I'm going the other way. Seattle at home. JJ.
Yeah, although Darnold did hurt himself in practice yesterday, there was an oblique or something like that.
He says he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm going with Seattle. They played a couple weeks ago, and Seattle won by 10. I'm going to go with them.
Boy, Hayes Carline's got an opportunity here.
I got to hope Bobby Pruitt's on the other sideline.
All right, Texans at the Patriots. I'm going with the road team. I'll take the Texans. JJ.
I like the Pats at home. I hate the offensive the Texans.
Hayes Carlyon.
I will take the New England Patriots. I will say if there's one offensive line that might be able to block Hunter and Anderson, it's this one. They have protected Drake May wonderfully all year. I'll say they do it enough for New England to defend their home turf.
All right, I got a game picker opportunity. And right back to you, JJ. Bears at home against the Los Angeles Rams.
Now, this is the game I'm most excited about this weekend, just because it is in Chicago, and they've been so good at the end of these games. But I'm going to go with the Rams. I think better quarterback. I'll go with Stafford and the Rams.
Rams on the road. Hayes Carlyon.
I'm going to take Chicago here. I like the way Caleb Williams is playing. The Rams over the last month have not been their dominant self. They're starting to look like a team that peaked maybe a bit too early. So I'll say the upstart Bears keep it going, and Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson score enough to get past the Rams.
Do I give Carlyon another game picker-upper opportunity?
You can't be worried about me. I'm 4 back.
I think the Rams are going to win the game. I'm going to take the Rams. So there you go. You got another game.
Here we go.
All right.
Hey, I have a chance.
Yeah.
We got a chance.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to beat them. Now, to the college music, please. One more time. One last time you'll hear this little ditty on the program.
Is it true that Miami is playing in the national championship?
Can you believe this?
I can't.
Is it possible that the Indiana Hoosiers are playing for the national championship?
And let me just say this. I always pick last on the Jags. I'm the voice of the Jags. I pick last. JJ's picking last on this one. He's earned that right. Miami, Indiana. In Miami for the title. Hayes Carlyon, what say you?
I like Miami. I think they're going to be able to get after Mendoza. I think he's going to have some miscues because of that, some turnovers. So I think the Miami pass rush too much for Indiana, and I do think the veteran Carson Beck does enough. Tony makes a couple spectacular plays. Fletcher with the ground game. I will take the Miami Hurricanes win the national championship in an upset.
Number 6.
And I think it's another opportunity for game picker-upper for Hayes. I like Indiana to win, and there's no way you're jinxing what you've been doing. I know where you're headed with this, Jess. So I'll take Indiana, JJ.
I picked Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I picked Ohio State.
I respect that so much.
I picked Ole Miss, and I'm picking the Indiana Hoosiers to win the national title. Kirk Cignetti lifts the hardware for the first time in school history.
I respect it so much. So here we go. Broncos, Bills. JJ and I like the Bills. Hayes with the Broncos. Seahawks, 49ers. JJ and I, Seahawks. Hayes with the 49ers. JJ and I are different in one game. I like the Texans. You guys both like the Pats. JJ and I both like the Rams. Hayes with the Bears. JJ and I are the same on every game except for one. So I got to get that one right to get you.
That's going to be a big ball game.
Indiana.
In Foxborough.
Hayes has Miami. And we both like Indiana. Those are our picks. One more time. 105 for JJ. 104 for me, 100 for Hayes. Those are our picks. We'll let you know how we did on Monday. We'll take a break. Pete Prisco is next.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
How does number 9 feel about number 16?
All right, here we go.
Find out when David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony. Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Hey, folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass. And I think you deserve a spa-like shower, don't you? Get rid of that dirty, dated setup you have in your bathroom. Those old-style showers can be really ugly. Install a gorgeous frameless shower with thick, sexy glass and a free diamond coating protection that's easier to clean, like Rain-X for your shower. Your bathroom will feel like a luxury spa every morning and night. You deserve it. Visit my friends at leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulate this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week, Christian Ricks, senior basketball player at Paxson School. Christian was an All-Gateway and honorable mention All-First coach. Congratulations, Christian.
Frank Frangie here, and Big Chief Tire makes it easier than ever to get the tires you need with the Big Chief credit card. No annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, and right now, $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and get the tires you need today. That's Big Chief Tire.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Discover the fun and freedom of boating. Don't miss the Jacksonville Boat Show, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Presented by VyStar Credit Union. Tickets at BoatJax.com. That's BoatJax.com.
Hey, Hickett here for Prize Picks. This week, a special max discount promotion live on the board right now. Caleb Williams has been discounted. He only needs to go for more than a half a pass yard during the Bears-Packers game Saturday. Just add another player to your lineup, and if your pick hits, man, you cash in. Download that Prize Picks app today. Use code 1010XL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code 1010XL, $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Coach Campo here, and I just want to tell you about the best pizza I've had right here in Duval, and that's Tony D's Pizza. Tony works hard to make every slice perfect. If you love pizza like I do, you need to go to Tony D's, Bay Meadows and 295.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is RJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Time for all things Jaguars and NFL with Pete Prisco. The Prisco Report, presented by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Showtime.
On the Frangie Show.
All right, Pete's shows on Pete's Report is always brought to you by our friends at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Tomorrow now is the monthly in-store card show, 9 to 4. Showtime's got all those great vendors in for that card show. It's never a bad time to go to Showtime, but really a good time to go is when they have the card show, 9 to 4 tomorrow, located at the corner of Phillips and Shad. And, of course, you can find them on all those social channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Pete, a tough one for the Jags last week. We're all still kind of smarting around here. What'd you make of the ball game?
Well, it was there for them, and they just didn't make the plays when they needed to. You got to get off the field. And, you know, look, that guy's a great quarterback, and he makes plays too. But at some point, you got to get him off the field. You had to lead twice in the fourth quarter, and you're supposed to win those games. So, look, they let that get away, and I think they could have really gone on a run. I really do believe that. The other part of that is, and I'm a big believer in you take the points in the playoffs. I didn't like that call on fourth down. I know the play was there. I know he tripped. I know he stumbled when he took the snap, but the reality is you go up 10-3 on a gift points right there in the postseason, you got to take those. So, look, it left a little to be desired. I think they played, down the stretch one of their worst games, and they still had a chance to win it. Probably should have won.
Pete, where do you see the Jaguars moving on from here?
In terms of?
Well, just their success moving forward.
I mean, look, this team is built for sustainable success. I said that last week. I think with Trevor Lawrence being who he's become, the head coach being who he is, the staff being what it is, and some of those guys might leave, but still they got a good staff, and they made some changes. Sounds like in the secondary, and then you look at the roster, and I think they still need some pieces, but I think the basis of being a good team is there, and I think they have a chance to be something that can have sustainable success. So now they have decisions to make.
Yeah, well, they do, and I'm going to get to some of those in a minute, 'cause there's a lot of them. But let me go back to what you just said, and tell me if you see it this way too. I think the fact that everybody is so, whether it's devastated or still kind of in a fog or still bummed out. I know Liam still is. You can tell when you watch his media. I know we kind of are. I can hear it in your voice a little bit because you follow this team closely enough. That's because there's real belief. They're really good. I mean, they might have won the Super Bowl if they'd have won that game. And we all talked about that. And I think that trumps even the other years they've been in the playoffs. Isn't that one of the reasons we're all kind of, golly, still smarting from this a little bit? Because we knew what was there. And I think Liam feels that way and the players do. Isn't that what? So that's kind of a good sign that there's something special brewing here, even though it's not happening this year, right?
Correct. And if you had said before the season that you're going to get to win the division, host a playoff game, and have the lead in the fourth quarter with a chance to advance to the divisional round, you would have said, sign me up for that. But the way it played out and the way you saw this team grow and develop, that's what makes it so hard to take. And that's why I think the town is devastated. I think the staff is devastated. And I think the players are. But I think it's a great start for what can be a long-time success for that team. And it starts with the coach and the quarterback. If you have the coach and the quarterback, you will be around for a long time. Now, he was a little unsteady early in that game. He didn't look like the same guy he had been, during the winning streak. But then he kind of regrouped and he played really well, I thought, down the stretch. They did need to hit that touch. That's a touchdown. Parker Washington's a touchdown. I know he didn't have great time, but that's got to be the first read there. He's got to get that ball down the field, and they have a chance to get a touchdown and win that game if he can.
Pete, do you think the Bills go on and defeat the Broncos?
I do. I think the Bills. I said it last week. I said the one team you didn't want to play was Buffalo because of that guy. And that guy is more than capable of getting on a roll. And I think defensively, they did some really good things last week. A lot of disguised coverages. Those young defensive tackles are starting to grow up. Walker's growing up in the middle. Sanders, who's, had a knee injury, he's back now and playing better on the inside. Ed Oliver's coming off IR, and so he might play some this week. So I do. I think Buffalo's going to beat Denver, and I think they have a real chance to get to the Super Bowl. This could be the year that Josh Allen finally makes it.
How much of their success, and I think they're going to win too, I agree with you, how much of their success is just that team, they've been there, man. Josh Allen, I mean, they've lost a bunch of these games on the road, but they've been in so many of them. I still think that matters. I still think being there, A, as a player, but B, being there collectively with your team a bunch of times makes you more prepared for games like this. Denver doesn't have a lot of guys in that situation. Buffalo does. Isn't that a big part of all this?
It really is, and particularly for the quarterback position. And, last year they whacked Denver, and Denver, maybe they learned from that. It's tougher to go into Denver and win. But I think, look, if you ask me right now, if Josh Allen has the ball in the fourth quarter against that Denver defense and he's down 2 points, is he going to go get a field goal? The answer to that question would be yes. And the amazing thing is he's doing it without great receivers. They have really good tight ends. That's a good group across the board. And Cook is a good player. They kind of limited him last week, but they don't have great receivers, and yet he still finds a way to get it done. So, yeah, I do. To answer your question, I think Buffalo has been through it, and I think they've built on that, and they're going to be one of those teams that can get hot and get on a roll and maybe win the whole thing.
How do you think Texans and Patriots plays out?
Not having Nico Collins is big for that offense. It really is, particularly against that defense. And I think that's going to be a problem for the Texans. I think defensively they're great. We know that. They get after it. They can rush the passer. But I think Drake May will make enough plays against them. And not having Nico Collins kind of changes the dynamic of that offense. And C.J. Stroud wasn't very good last week. So I'm going with the quarterback who's played better, and I'm going to go Drake May. I think the Patriots win that game.
Patriots and Bills are who you like in the AFC. What about the two NFC games? Who wins those two, in your opinion?
Well, I think, look, is Darnold healthy? Is he going to play? They're playing gamesmanship with the oblique muscle, and will he play? Is he going to be limited? And if his status is not good, then I think that's a problem for Seattle. But if he's healthy, I think Seattle will win the game. I think San Francisco will hang around just because, Shanahan's so good at, scheming up stuff, even against a really good defense. We saw that last week against Philly. But I think Seattle will win that game. And I think the Rams go into Chicago and beat Chicago. I don't like the Bears' defense at all. I think, Jordan Love threw all over him last week. I think Stafford, if the weather, and it's supposed to be nasty, but I think he can still throw the football provided the wind isn't bad. And I think they go up there and win the game. So I think it'll be a rematch of the Rams in Seattle.
Do you think Udisky or Campanile get jobs?
No. And I just think maybe they're going to interview him, talk to him, and realize, look, they're brilliant guys. I mean, I think both of them are brilliant coaches. I just think maybe in this cycle they might be a year away. And Udinsky's really smart when it comes to offensive football, but he's never called plays. I think that somebody might be turned off by that. On the other side, I think Campanelli's done a great job, and I think his energy and his personality would be fantastic for any team that interviewed him. But I think he might be a year away as well. I think they'll both be head coaches at some point. And if you're the Jaguars, you hope like hell they eventually do, but maybe not right away, because I think they're a big part of your staff and what you're building there.
And that's my guess. I think they're both going to be head coaches, but I don't think it's going to be in this cycle. I'd be surprised. All right, Pete, let's look ahead. Travis Etienne and Devin Lloyd are the two free agents of note. We all know that. What happens with those two guys, in your opinion? Do they move on from Walker Little, even though he's under contract, but they did extend Cole Van Lannon? What's your vision? A couple thoughts about the Jags and what they might do as they move forward here.
I think Etienne and Devin Lloyd are both gone. I just do. And that's me playing general manager and building the thing. You got a running back. You're going to pay him. I think you're risking it there because running backs hit a curve and come down, A. And B, you can find running backs. You can draft them in the draft. And I think Tootin showed in the playoff game, he probably should have got more carries in that playoff game, what he can do. And I think he's ready for a bigger role. You can, draft another one this year, maybe sign a cheaper veteran. But I think the price is going to be too much for Etienne, so I think he goes. And look, Lloyd made a lot of splash plays, and he had a good year. But I don't think he's necessarily as good as maybe the portrayal of him outside of Jacksonville, at least in my mind, people I talk to. And so I think he moves on. I don't think you pay that position. I think he moves on. And, as far as some of those other guys, Monteric Brown, team-friendly deal, maybe he comes back. The other guys, who else is a free agent? There's a couple others, but the reality is there's not a lot of guys. Newsom's gone. I mean,
right.
he what he did last week was awful. If it wasn't a decision, and I think it was, but if it wasn't a decision before last week, he has to go. So I don't, Wingert, team-friendly deal, maybe on a one-year deal if he wants to come back. But, he started a lot of games, and you know how that works out around the league. Teams will be attracted to that.
What would be your plan for Travis Hunter next year?
Corner and spot him in at wide receiver. I mean, that game last week told you everything you needed to know about Travis Hunter. He needed to be on the field. I mean, that was a perfect game for him to be on the field. And their corners got exposed a little bit. We had talked about it. Jarian Jones had played really well. Monteric Brown had played really well. Newsom even had some moments, but I thought they got exposed the other day. And I think that probably is, if you had Travis Hunter, he plays corner. You can play a little bit more man where he is. And then on the other side, you can roll coverage that way. And not having him really hurt, not having Jordan Lewis really hurt too. Let's not forget that. So I think their corners next year are going to be Travis Hunter, Jordan Lewis, provided he's capable of coming back, and I think he will be. And then either Jarian Jones or maybe if you bring Monteric Brown back on a cheap deal, or you draft a younger corner in the draft and let him become a starter.
Pete, final thing. What are your expectations for Trevor Lawrence moving forward? He had a brilliant year, a really brilliant second half of the year. Is he on the cusp of joining the elite in this league?
I don't know if he's going to join Mahomes and Burrow and Allen, but he's on the cusp of being right behind them. And, there's little things he still needs to clean up, like start of that game. Got a little sloppy again. He can't do that. The read of the linebacker, he didn't see that guy at all. And he could have thrown the check down, the little short crosser to Myers. You got to be better than that. You take the crosser. And so I think there's very little things. And I think sometimes he doesn't respond when things aren't going really well. But he kind of regrouped the other day and did, which I think is a very, very good sign going forward. So I love the kid. I think he's on the verge of being one of those, top level quarterbacks. I just don't know if he's ever going to get to the elite of the elite in the NFL.
It's going to be fun to watch, and this weekend's going to be fun to watch as well. Pete Prisco does a great job, as always, checking in from CBSSports.com, brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Pete, enjoy the weekend, man. Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, Pete Prisco talking NFL, does a fantastic job, really knows the league and really knows the Jaguars as well. Do want to remind you, Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Now, tomorrow's the monthly in-store show, 9 to 4. There's never a bad time to get to Showtime if you're a sports fan because there's stuff for every team. But tomorrow's the really big day because it's a once-a-month card show, 9 to 4, lots of great vendors, lots of great items. Head to Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles at the corner of Shad and Phillips. And again, learn more about them on all those social channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll talk some college hoops after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jacksonville Sports, 24/7. Your teams, your town, on your time. The 1010XL network is here. Find 1010XL at 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It may be winter in Northeast Florida, but it's one of the most important times to protect your lawn. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. Their winterizer strengthens roots and improves cold tolerance. Pre-emergent treatments stop spring weeds before they ever start. What that means is you set the stage for a thicker, greener lawn when spring arrives. Call today to schedule your winter lawn treatment with Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Some plumbing companies say they're local, right up until you realize their headquarters are in New York City. At Hall & Sons Plumbing, we're actually from here. Born, raised, and fixing leaks right here in Jacksonville. Hall & Sons Plumbing. Local. Family. Real.
I'm with Greg from Cycles in Jacksonville. We always talk about Honda, Triumph, so many great bikes, but Aprilia from Italy is also a beautiful line.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a fine sport bike. It's one that when you take your helmet off, you're never frowning. You're always smiling.
So if you want to treat yourself to something really special on the road, that's a line they should look into?
Absolutely, and we've got them in stock and ready to roll.
All right, make sure you check them out. They are on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com is a great place to go, or check out their Facebook page at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
Joe C. here. I tried playing handyman with my sprinklers and French drain, and royally failed. So I called Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage, and John Haney came out personally, just like he'll do for you.
You know it. And for a limited time, my good buddy Joe C's coming too.
Huh?
Ain't that right, Joe?
I gotta go to the game.
Joe? Go!
Clearwater Irrigation.
At least do this part.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Jacksonville homes are selling, but it can take months, and it takes a price lower than you want. Well, getting top price means aggressive marketing, and Chad and Sandy Newman are the Jacksonville experts who have proven systems to drive the demand to sell your home. And they have this unbelievable promise and guarantee. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. If you need to sell now, Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, and stress-free. You want max price? Chad and Sandy are going to aggressively market your home, and they're going to get it. Anthony and Mary in Palm Coast said, we wanted to move back home closer to family. Getting max price was more important than a fast sell, but we had only purchased our home last year, so we didn't have much equity. After just 23 days of aggressive marketing with Chad and Sandy, they sold our house at the price we needed to make the move. Call the Jacksonville experts you can trust, and I recommend. Call Chad and Sandy at 904-414-6200 or ChadandSandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
The moment you just heard, it's our friend Pete Prisco. He was our guest today, talking about the Jags. Even Pete sounds a little disappointed that the Jags let one get away a little bit, but they're also built to move forward in a very positive way as we move forward. So certainly that the golden moment. Pete Prisco talking NFL, picking the games, and of course telling us what he thought went on with the Jaguars. So that is our golden moment today on the program. Tomorrow at 2:00, fun one, Florida and Vandy in basketball. Both teams 3-1 in the league. Interesting, the Vandy is 11th, Florida 16th in the net, which I know you follow closely. In the Ken Palm, Florida 10, Vandy 11. So they're both in there together. They're both ranked teams. This is an upstart Vandy team that's well coached, has not played a great schedule, but has learned how to win and has won a lot of games. They finally lost one at Texas. It's a Florida team with not nearly as good a record because they played Arizona and UConn and Duke and TCU and some really good teams. This is the Florida experience versus the Vandy just got to the party, but we're at home, but they have a great home crowd, but they're good for that home crowd. This is Carl Ravitch and Jimmy Dykes on the call. This is a fun one.
It really is. There's a lot of elements to this game. First off, Todd Golden 0-2 at Vanderbilt. Now, he didn't play there last year with his, obviously, team that won the national title.
And they beat him last year in Gainesville.
That's correct.
And they did it without Walter Clayton.
That's right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Golden looking for his first win in that gymnasium. This is the lone meeting of this season. So this has big implications in terms of potential tiebreakers for the league title if they both finish with the same record. I just think it comes down to Florida's length and their height advantage in this game. This is Vanderbilt's starting lineup by height. 6'7", 6'7", 6'8", 6'2", 6 feet. This is Florida's starting lineup by height. 6'9", 6'11", 6'10", 6'3", 6'4". I just think Florida's height, they've been so dominant on the glass this year. They lead the nation in rebounding margin at plus 15.7. They lead the nation in offensive rebounds per game at 17 even. They lead the nation in rebounds total per game at 46.7. I think Vanderbilt's going to have to be prolific shooting the three tomorrow to beat Florida. They are much better at that. Vandy shoots 36.8% from the three-point line, Florida at 27.9%. So it's going to be the classic. Vandy's going to have to make a ton of threes because Florida's going to get every rebound, and I like Florida in the game. I like Florida in the game comfortably.
I'll say this. I'm probably not comfortably, but I think the Gators are going to win. Florida, with that big, physical, long, imposing, skilled front line, they were like the early season. They were like a boxer who came into the season with a lot of knockouts and expectations of knockouts, but they weren't knocking anybody out. And then they found their rhythm. And then the last three fights they've had, they've knocked them out in the first round. That's what they sort of found the way to make that length and height and front court demolish people. I mean, again, their last three games against good teams, home game against 18th ranked Georgia, home game against 21st ranked Tennessee, road game against Oklahoma, unranked but a home team and a team that'll be in the tournament was last year. 92-77, 91-67, 96-79. None of those games were close. I mean, Georgia was close for a while. The other two were never close. And this is, three games that they just walloped teams, including one road game. So if that's what Florida has found, then they're going to be hard for anybody to beat them. They are. And if that's what they are, as far as the backcourt, we now know what they are. Neither Flan nor Lee are good shooters. We know that. Flan's a good player. Lee's not a terrible player. He just can't shoot anything. Flan, though, is physical, gets to the goal, is a good assist guy, defends, rebounds. Klavjar is their best shooter off the bench. Again, teams are focusing on him. And I told you this the other day. Teams focusing on him, in my opinion, are why there's more availability now for Chinyu. You can't double down now. Because if you double down now and they kick it back out, if he has an open look, he's going to make it. He only made 1 3 the other night because he only shot 3. And the reason he only shot 3 is they stayed on him. He's not great at getting a shot off if an athletic defender's on him, but that's one athletic defender who's not dropping down on Chinyu or Hauk or Condon.
Yeah, and Chinyu has really become a pleasure to watch. I mean, his offensive game is really developed. And, Houck is obviously in the running for first-team All-American honors. I mean, he's having one of the best individual seasons that anybody's ever, if it can continue. Their front court, Condon has been, I'd say, just sort of so-so this year, but he's still just such a weapon for Florida. I mean, what a luxury for if you're saying Condon's your third best big, he's a 6'11" guy that runs the floor at an unbelievable pace and has a pretty sophisticated offensive game when he's not shooting threes. And so I think Florida is really rounding into form. And again, we talked about it. We'll talk about it every time Florida plays a basketball game. This is what Florida needs. They need, of those three guards, one to play well, one to play decent, and one can play terribly. And if that happens, they will beat Vanderbilt, and they'll beat pretty much anybody on their schedule. And if that doesn't happen, if none of the guards play well, then Vandy will win.
If Florida wins this game, they'll get to 13-5, 4-1 in the league. Okay, if they win the game, and again, this will be a dicey one. This one won't be easy. I don't think
Florida is a 3.5 point underdog.
This
Florida is the underdog in the game.
Yeah, this will be a dicey one. There's no question, and they should be the underdog. Vanderbilt's at home and a very good team. They're ranked 10th, so this will be a dicey one. But let's assume they win, because again, I think it's coming down to the end. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable win, but I think they're going to win. But let's say they win the game, they get to 13-5 and 4-1. Their next three games: home against LSU, home against Auburn, at South Carolina. I'm very comfortable they're winning those games.
Yeah, LSU I think 0-4 in league play.
Did they finally,
I think they're in the cellar.
They were beating Kentucky last week. Did they?
They must have lost. Okay, unless I'll double check. Yeah, but when I looked at it the other day, they were 0-4.
So if Florida gets to 4-1 in the league, 13-5 and 4-1, I'm pretty convinced, Hayes, you're going to look up and they're going to be 16-5 and 7-1. Well, once you get to 16-5 and 7-1, you've now reestablished yourself as maybe the best team in the conference and one of the best in the country. That's how important this game is. That's how big this game is. If they win this one, I do think they're winning the next three.
So LSU is 0-4, and then who are the teams after that?
Home against Auburn,
who's 1-3 in league play,
and at South Carolina.
These are literally the three bottom teams in the SEC right
So
now.
if they win this game and get to 13-5 and 4-1, I think you're going to look up and they're going to be 16-5 and 7-1.
Right.
And if you're 16-5 and 7-1 of the SEC, you're then you've gained confidence.
You're
then
back in the Tampa regional.
That's correct. Then other teams have gained a little fear when they play you. So that's a big one tomorrow. That's a big. Again, I think they're going to win those next three games no matter what they do tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a dicey one. Tomorrow will be a dicey game for the Gators, and again, give Vanderbilt credit, man. I mean, they're damn good. I mean, the schedule might be soft, but if you start the season 15-0 or whatever they did, and you get to rank 10th, you're a pretty doggone good team. We all know it's a hard gym to play in because it's just unusual. Your benches are at the end, not at the side. The fans are down below. It's a hard place to play. Every team that's ever played there said it being as unusual as it is makes it a difficult place to play, but it's going to be a fun one to watch, no question about it. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The lines for this weekend's NFL playoff games: the Denver Broncos a 1.5 favorite at home against the Buffalo Bills. Denver minus 118. Buffalo at even money over under 46.5. While the 49ers will take on Seattle. The Seahawks a 7-point favorite minus 335. The 49ers plus 270 over under 44.5. The Patriots are a 3-point favorite at home in Foxborough against the Houston Texans, who have won 10 straight games. New England minus 178. Houston plus 150. Over under is at 40.5. And the Rams a 3.5-point favorite at Soldier Field against the Chicago Bears. Over under 48.5.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010 XL.
It's January. You turn on the hot water, expecting steam, and you get let down. That's usually a sign your tankless water heater is loaded with mineral buildup, slowing it down and wearing it out before it's time. So Duck Duck Rooter is kicking the new year off strong with a Start Fresh Tankless Flush. Their experienced technicians flush and clean your tankless system, restoring performance and getting you back in the game. Right now, get your tankless water heater flushed and cleaned for just $99. 904-862-6769 or DuckDuckRooter.com.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Playoff football calls for the grill. The January Rancher Box from local Fair Jacks is packed with pasture-raised beef, free-range chicken, and pork. All local, all delivered. Stock up for game day at localfairjacks.com.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow. June 11th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena with special guest Alan Stone. Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Start your new year off healthy and get screened at Ackerman Cancer Center with on-site imaging, including whole-body MRI, PET and CT scans, and mammography. Early detection is key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Cheap Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Cheap Tire.
We thank our friends from Big Chief. 6 locations on the first coast, the north side, 2 on the west side, south side, Orange Park and Mandarin. Brakes, alignments, oil changes, and of course those terrific tires. Nobody does it better, my friends, at Big Chief Tire Company. Trinidad Chambliss is suing the NCAA. Big surprise there.
Yeah.
What if he'll win? Think he'll win?
It seems like lately those cases have not been successful, so it seems like finally the legal system is siding with the NCAA, but it'll be interesting to see how it continues.
Yeah, it will be. I never understand why Diego Pavia and guys like that win and other guys lose. I guess it's based on how legit people think their injury year was or their hardship.
And the JUCO level, I guess.
Oh, that's right. He won the JUCO thing. That's right. That's bad. That was a bad example because he got there because there was precedent that they've now decided the JUCO year doesn't count against you. They treat it like a prep school. Which is, but there's still some guys that it works for and some guys it doesn't, and I'm interested to see kind of how it plays out. By the way, I hope he wins, and I know the Gators play him next year, so it'll be easier to beat them if he's not there. I like him. I like watching him.
What a story!
I was a fan, man.
Oh yeah, he's a lot of fun. I'm curious to see who takes a chance on him in the NFL. He'll get picked,
no question.
I mean, he's going to be probably in the first 3-4 rounds. So that's one where, if he ends up with the right offensive mind, that could be really interesting.
Yeah, he is to today's NFL. He can play in today's NFL. He couldn't have played in 25 years ago NFL. He can play in today's NFL, so I'll be interested to see what he does as well. So what's the weekend? We got no football.
Yeah, I'll tell you something.
You're going to watch some football.
I'll be watching football, and obviously can't wait for the Gators game tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. I'll tell you a sneaky thing tonight if you're a sports fan.
Oh, I am. Did you know I am?
Yes.
I am a sports fan.
You are a sports fan.
I just am sharing.
So I stumbled upon the Sony Open last night.
Okay.
And I will never get beyond how well golf looks in HD.
Yeah.
It is just such a spectacular sport. And that course, I've never really paid much attention to the Sony Open, but when we had Lee Smith in here, it's like, oh, it's Hawaii, check it out. And I mean, it's gorgeous. Right. So if you're looking for something, obviously it's not a huge event, and it's not like this star-studded leaderboard, although I haven't checked. But I mean, it's obviously it's beyond West Coast. So I mean, you can be watching this at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it's live golf. So maybe a little Sony Open tonight.
Our
Gators
boy
basketball,
Gotterup
NFL.
is only one back.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I love him.
Me too.
So Suzanne's going to say, hey, we rented a good movie. What do you think? Nope, Sony Open for me. That's what I'm going to tell her.
The good news is you could watch the movie, and then after the movie, you could watch, because Sony Open's going to be going on till like midnight, 1 a.m.
That's great. Let me tell you the difference between Rick Ballou and me. I'm so old now, I'm asleep by 9:30. Rick's still awake at 3:30. Okay, that's how we're different. Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Last night or this morning, when did you fall asleep? What time? Right now. I need an honest answer.
3:15.
It's like every day, right?
There's no question. Yeah. And Hayes has me up at 8:45. But for the last 2 weeks in a row, all of a sudden, after like 20 minutes worth, my computer just goes off on me, and I can no longer hear. I was reading lips today.
It was interesting.
So 3:15 out.
3:15 out.
And that's standard, right?
It is. But you know what? I do a lot of really good things late at night. I read a book. I catch up on everything that is sports related. I really prepare already for, the next day's show. So the girlfriend falls asleep. I got to tell you, last night was hilarious. I'm on this Whatnot. Have you heard of that website yet? Whatnot, the app?
No.
You can buy baseball cards on it, and you can really buy anything on it. Well, this guy had the genius move last night. He hold up like a Ray Knight or a Darryl Strawberry or, a Steve Kemp, and it was buy the card for $1. If not, he would shred it. Okay. And so then I turned on, like, I got to listen to this guy. This is hilarious. He is stoned out of his mind. And he's on Whatnot just having a blast, shredding old baseball cards. And all of a sudden it grows from like 6 to 8. All of a sudden there's like 200 people on there. No one's buying them. They just want to see. There's no way he's going to shred this Tom Glavine. He's all Glavine shredded. So that's the type of stuff you get when you stay up to 3:15 in the morning, all right?
And that's what I missed by falling asleep at 10:30. I'm changing my life right now. I'm changing it.
I love that lifestyle. But I'll be up again early tomorrow because I'm going to try to sneak some golf, and I hope the weather improves.
Tomorrow's supposed to be nice, actually.
Yeah. It's still in Denmark's last show.
I know. What about that? I like Dylan. I'm going to miss Dylan. I got to be honest about it.
Producers usually last about what? 3-4 months with me, and then they move on. So Dylan almost set a record, but we're going to say goodbye. He doesn't know it yet, but he's doing the show.
Okay, good.
Okay, he's finding that out right now.
I'm going to listen.
So whatever he wants to do, that's exactly what we're going to do
that's
tonight.
what's coming up tonight. You know what? I'll be locked in. Maybe Rick, definitely Dylan tonight, coming up in just a bit. Oh, folks, that's our program. Thanks for being part of it. We'll see you next week. Have a great football weekend. I'm sorry the Jags aren't in it. We all are.